Welcome to the first episode of Hawks Ridge. Um, this is my attempt at doing a bunch of episodes on what we're going to try to eventually turn into our forever home. We're in southern Indiana. We have 19 acres here. We're backed up to Hoosier National Forest, and it's all overgrown. My first attempt at doing this, I'm going to learn how to do the video editing and all that. So hopefully I get better as time goes on. I've seen a lot of people that do the videos, and they always say your first video, don't expect much. Just go with it. So that's what I'm doing. I don't have a script. I'm just winging it. We bought the place back in 2017. We originally bought 12 and a half acres, and just last year we were able to purchase another 6.5 adjacent to us. That gets us up to 19. The beauty of it is that it is backed up to Hoosier National Forest, and as you can tell, it's just peaceful, quiet back here. Absolutely love it. I do like to hunt, so the deer hunting's great. The wildlife is phenomenal. We've seen turkeys, squirrel, obviously, raccoons, possums, rabbit, deer, obviously there. Oh, and there you go. That's why we're doing this. Accidents happen, I guess. So we have a ton of projects here. When we bought the place, the structure that was on the property, still here. It's an Amish built structure. It's, I want to say, less than 400 square feet. We don't live down here right now. We live up in Indy. And since 2017, we've been working on doing small things here and there to make it more comfortable for a getaway spot. We did know that when we bought it, we wanted to build a house down here. I don't think we realized how much work was involved with a piece of property in the woods. 2 years ago, we bought a sawmill, a Norwood sawmill, and still practicing on it, still learning it. That'll be videos that we'll make, and you'll see how I'm learning on that. My goal, our goal, my wife and I, my wife's name is Angie, is to build a house down here with the wood from the property. Fast forward to last year, we were able to purchase a skid steer, and that's when things really started happening. We really started utilizing it to move dirt. Southern Indiana, everybody hears Indiana, they think cornfields. That's not necessarily the case. Southern Indiana is very hilly. The glaciers stopped at some point, 2/3 of the way down, and then once they stopped, everything was just hilly down this way. And that's one of the things that attracted me to it. It's not mountainous, but it's hilly, and you do get terrain differences. So to me, that was a big reason why we wanted to get down here. Some of the things we've done. So we bought the place, like I said, had a structure on it. Tin-sided, tin roof. As you can tell, it's raining. Awesome day to be in the cabin listening to that rain hit the tin roof. It had no electricity, no water, concrete floor. It is technically 2 stories, but the upstairs is like this, and you walk down through the center, and I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'6", and I hit my shoulders on the joist, the roof joist. So we put a bed upstairs, so we had a place to sleep. Downstairs, through the time, like I said, we were doing small things to make it more comfortable. There's 2 drains in the structure. We'll call it the cabin. One was in the bathroom area, which we did have a compost toilet in there. And then one was towards the south wall. Looking at everything, we said, okay, if we're going to do this, if we're going to make this somewhere where we can get away for a weekend and be comfortable, let's go ahead and put some countertops in, some cabinets. I put OSB around in the bathroom area so we actually could take a shower in there. The back door led to a lean-to area, which was dirt. Um, we really worked hard to make it a comfortable place for us to get away. We put laminate flooring in. You know, I'm a big fan of reclaiming things. If people are throwing stuff away and I know I can use it, I'm in construction, and it's amazing how much stuff gets thrown away in construction. So I grabbed stuff and we try to utilize it. The cabinets were all from a job site where when we do that video of a tour of the place, you'll see the cabinets are actually pretty nice cabinets. We have changed things around in the cabinet a couple different times. At one point in time, we had a TV on the wall. We changed that. Now we have a TV that folds down out of from the ceiling. How we power it up, we're on solar. Completely solar. I have battery backup. We'll show you that at some point in time. We have a small refrigerator in there. I think it was last year I was working out of town up in New York, and I was staying at an Airbnb, and just got a conversation up with the owner, and we were talking about off-grid stuff, and we hit it off really well. I told him, you know, the one thing we're missing is like a stove. And he said, hey, I've got this camper stove, and you're more than welcome to have it. It just needs cleaned up. So he gave it to me. I offered to pay for it, but he said, nope, you know, there we go again. Offered to pay for it, but he said, no, you know, the information and the time we shared with each other, he said that was, you know, good enough for him. So I got it, cleaned it up, and we installed that in the cabin. And that was another huge thing, because now we have we can cook inside in the wintertime. We added a deck on the front of the cabin, which was huge for us, because we now spend time out on the deck, and it just extended our living down here, so to speak, or our time down here. We had a space we could go to. Let's see, what else have we added? The shower situation. Also, rain collection. We have a rain collection system, and at the time, our showers, we would grab water, we would heat it up. On the deck, we put a corner wood burning stove, and we would heat water up, and then they sell the camper or the camping showers. It's a pump. You stick it in a bucket of water and shower head, and you just turn it on, shower up. And we learned real quick that, you know, you only need about 2.5 gallons of water to actually take a shower, rinse off everything. So, you know, that was awesome. Last year we added down here, and I'm down at the camp, what we call the campsite. We added a shower, propane shower. And so we had to run PVC down from the cabin down to here, which is about a 50-foot elevation change. And huge shout out to Braden, one of our grandsons. He came down that weekend and he helped me get that PVC ran down here. We still have a little bit of work to do on it. The water pressure isn't quite where we want it to be, so we bought a Jackery, and we're going to hook up a inline water pump to get that pressure up, so we have good pressure. We can still take a shower, it's just not where we want it. So down at the campsite, the way this unfolded down here is we do a father-son camping trip every year down here, and we didn't own it at the place at the time when we first started doing this trip, and the owner of the place said, hey, no problem. His son and my son, great friends, and they said, yep, no problem. So we came down here, and it was heavily wooded, as thick as you can only imagine. And you'll see in the video, I took a picture of Hoosier National. Hopefully I can edit it in here and it'll make sense. We came down here the first weekend, machetes, oddly enough. That might be one of the original machetes, as I'm using as my backdrop. We came down here and cleared out a spot enough for tents. And what we found was some of the kids that had come down here had never camped. So it was their first time putting up tents, and we had minimal stuff. I remember waking up, it was a weekend trip, Sunday morning, I'm going to make breakfast for everybody, and I didn't have any of the cooking stuff, really, to feed the people that were here. Fast forward, the owner offered to sell the place to us. We bought it without hesitation, and we've progressively made the campsite bigger. last weekend, one of my other grandsons came down, and he was helping me with, I've dropped trees, and we're cleaning branches up. We're trying to clean up the campsite to where I can actually get in here and start leveling it out with the skid steer. The idea of the campsite is still always going to be a spot for us to have a father-son camping trip, but we're also going to use this as our orchard. We are strong believers of, if you take from nature, you give back. So when I deer hunt, I'm always thinking of a way that I can give back to the wildlife. In this situation, yes, I understand orchard's going to bring wildlife in. It's going to make hunting a little bit easier. I won't lie about that. But additionally, it will give back to the rest of the herd and the other animals that are in the forest. And it will help us too. I mean, we both, my wife and I both love, fruits. We have right now down here probably 5 pear trees at this point. The deer have taken one out. We have a peach tree. We have a couple apple trees. We have a plum tree. The apple trees and the plum trees are struggling right now. I planted them probably a little bit prematurely. I didn't have enough cleared out to get the adequate sunlight that they needed. So it's a work in progress. We down here at the campsite, what I want to do down here is obviously orchard. I want to leave a spot for my wife to have a greenhouse, so I want to build that for her. I also want to build a bathhouse separate from what's up at the cabin. I have to build a sawmill shack and a solar kiln. This year, one of the things I did, we went down to probably the furthest spot in the property, leveled out some ground, and again, I took a video of it. I'll add it in. And my wife she loves butterflies and bees, and we're going to make that a butterfly bee garden for her. So while we're clearing out land, we understand, we're cutting down trees, but we're also going to add in stuff to help in other aspects. The other thing is I have to cut down trees if I truly want to make a home down here. So the trees that I'm cutting down, while I'm clearing a lot of land out for various things, I'm also going to try to mill lumber for building. I think that pretty much covers all of the things that we've done down here. I mean, when we came down here, we had nothing. It was just drive down here, walk through grass that was probably hip high. We learned, real quick, got to get a lawnmower. I got a lawnmower. Excuse me. We work trades out with people to get various things down here. We've got a side-by-side down here now. We've got the log splitter. We bought that pretty quick. And then the wood burning stove we put in the cabin. So it's just an ongoing amount of work down here. Sometimes it's overwhelming. I have my Angie is always saying that, thank you for going down there and doing stuff. Well, what she's doing at home, we have 2 Great Danes, and so she's babying them at home and taking care of stuff back up in Indy while I'm down here doing stuff. So in some of the videos, you'll eventually meet her. And then as we progress through this, my grandchildren will also be helping me with stuff down here. I think it's a great way for them to learn some activities or some skills that I think today's youth is just lacking. Some of it's just simple work ethic. I'm not saying that they don't have work ethic. I'm just saying they're going to learn better work ethic. Last weekend we were down here. Joey was on the skid steer. It wasn't like he was doing a whole lot, but I was teaching him hand signals and how to lift things and how the skid steer works. So for him, it was a great learning experience for him. It was crazy hot last weekend. So the skid steer had air conditioner, so it was good for him to get in the air conditioning, cool down. But in the same breath, he was operating it so that way I could continue doing what I needed to do. So yeah, we have a lot of projects down here. We have big dreams. At some point in time, we'll build a house down here. Oh, that was the other thing. On the cabin that's here now, we are going to expand on that so that way we can get down here. Once we're down here, we'll sell the house up in Indy, and then we'll come down here, live, while we continue to work to build our house. I don't know that there's too much more. Again, this was just my introduction to Hoosier National, Hawks Ridge. That's what we call it. And I hope to have people follow me on the journey. Hope people follow us. I always say me, but it's my wife and I. And we hope we have people follow us on this journey and see the steps. And we're going to fail. As you've seen in YouTube, a lot of people fail. Sometimes they add those in and sometimes they don't. I don't want to hide anything. I want others to learn from my mistakes. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. Hopefully none of them are any that are injuries. And yeah, this is Hawks Ridge here at Hoosier National. I guess everybody says the same thing on these videos. I don't want to be the guy that does this, but hit that like, hit the subscribe, and welcome to Hawks Ridge.